south of Kaduna State in Nigeria was attacked by Muslim Fulani herdsmen. All the villagers fled, but now they have returned to their ransacked houses because they have nowhere else to go. Unknown to most of the world, it is Muslim Fulani herdsmen who have demolished many villages like Ninta in the so-called Middle Belt states in Nigeria. Life for Christians in the north of Nigeria is tough. In 12 states, daily life is greatly organized according to Sharia law. In these states, Christians are an unwanted minority. In the northeast, moderate Muslims, but especially Christians, are victims of brutal attacks and kidnappings by Boko Haram. Christians in the Middle Belt states fall victim to a totally different danger: gangs of Fulani herdsmen.
It rained that night. We didn't know what was taking place until when the Fulanis came with their sophisticated weapons, surrounded the village at night. And before our people know it, they tried to run after their life. There was a casual. There was an aged man that was killed because when the children tried to run away, he was unable to go. They didn't pick him, so he was burned into ashes.
The attacks are carried out by Fulani herdsmen. These herdsmen are part of the Fula people, a people that is spread all over West Africa. 1/3 of the Fulani are nomadic herdsmen. They do not live in settlements, but just move around with their cattle. In Nigeria alone, there are millions of Fulani herdsmen. Every year, Nigeria loses thousands of square kilometers of grazing lands to desertification. This means that there is not enough room for farmers and Fulani herdsmen to live side by side. It's only in the last 6 to 8 years that things have got dramatically out of hand. The Fulani force their way onto farms where their cows eat the harvest and trample what is left. Fights break out regularly.
This is my house. There is no any single thing that we carry out from this house as you see it. There are lots of life in the village, which we lost almost up to 15 people in the village. This very area, we lost us to 15 or 20 people.
Very sad.
The incident that took place here, it was on 24th November. By 2:00 p.m., they came in mass, over 300 people. Yes, over 300 people that came here again in the village.
What?
Most all of them, every one of them is carrying AK-47, so everybody has to run away with his life.
What?
Village after village has been affected. Not all at once.
Very, very sad.
The attacks are haphazard. A village here and a few months later a village there. Reliable numbers are hard to come by, but our sources talk about over 50.
And yet the armies and the soldiers are defending the Fulani herdsmen. After they carried attack of this great magnitude, no police force, no army force, no air force is arranged against them. But if ESN is working in the forest to keep away these killer headsmen, the army will be deployed at Olo, at Enugu, at Nsukka, everywhere against ESN. The security of the people. May God deliver us.
Villages attacked in the last 12. Generally, it goes like this. Villagers chase a Fulani herdsman from their fields because he's ruining their harvest. Other Fulani decide to take revenge. They ask Muslims from around to join them in the attack. They then destroy the whole village, killing everybody who doesn't run away in time.
The attackers, they were the Fulanis and the Hausa Muslim people that joined them into the war.
Did you know these people? Do you know where they live? Do you know who they are?
Some of them were noticed, and some we didn't know because it was a kind of an invitation all over into the village, so that most of the people do not know them, but few we are identified.
During most
to the extent that even the Nigerian media cannot even carry such information and spread it to the people. They are even covering up. I advise everyone to go and watch the movie Rampage. A particular man came out and attacked the media. And they were forced to spread the truth and to let the people know the evil that they are suppressing from the people. This media, they are one of the problems we have in Nigeria, because they are also working for the interest of Fulani herdsmen. When Fulani people came to ransack village and kill thousands of people, no media will carry it. They won't even talk about it for 2 days. But if a herdsman die, for one herdsman die, the whole media will be carrying it and publishing it, north, east, west, and the south, every places. But if a Fulani attack, they will just suppress the information and keep it low from the international communities. This media.
The attacks, at least a few of the attackers are known to the victims, and they are reported to the police.
With these people that we know them, we told the government about them, but no any action.
These people, they were reported to the police and the government and the armies and the Fulani Federal Republic of Nigeria, but they did nothing. There was not even a single arrest. How they killed more than 20 people carrying sophisticated weapons that were not licensed for them to carry. But no soldier was deployed in search of those Fulani herdsmen. No army was deployed. Because why? The head of the armed forces, or the chief of the armed forces of Nigeria, of the army, is a Fulani man. Police also Fulani. Inspector General Fulani. In every barrack you have a Fulani commandant. What a shame. And yet you say that these very people are not here to demolish.
No single person that has been arrested.
Most of the Christians we spoke to in the Middle Belt have lost trust in the ability of the government to protect them.
Government is not helping the situation, especially those in the higher affairs. So at times, when they will be having these suspects, after some times again they will be released.
Hi.
Many Christian villagers told us.
What evil? Most of the time, like what they did in Lagos, Fulani, when OPC members arrested some Fulani marauders and herdsmen destroyers, the police came and arrested the arrester of the terrorist and also released the terrorist in an AC condition. What a shame. Then the complainant, the security members were put under detention for arresting the Fulani destroyers and marauders. Oh, this country is very, very funny. Very, very funny indeed. As if people are not living in it. But we have more than 200 million population. Hi.
They believe that the local government and some parts of the army are actively supporting the Fulani attackers.
You see what they...
See? They believe that most of the armies are even supporting the Fulani attackers. What Nnamdi Kanu has been saying for a long time.
Law enforcement are handling is not as strong as the weapons where these Fulanis are handling. Who gave them the sophisticated weapons? Anytime, if a strike is to take place, there will be a helicopter coming down and land in the bush. So the next thing will be an attack somewhere else.
What?
Within around. Who then
when before an attack will be carried out, there will be an helicopters supplying weapons to them. The helicopters will land in the bush where they are gathering, and they will receive and collect all their weapons that they need to carry out the attacks. And after that, they will keep their weapons and use it to be manipulating communities and subduing and ransacking villages and grabbing land. And yet, the Middle Belt people has not waken up to these atrocities that is taking place. Shame on you. Oh, what a shame. Right.
Supply this sophisticated. Who is the person that supplied it to them?
And then there is this other concerning reality. Religion is playing an important part in the many violent Fulani attacks against Christians. This is a church that was destroyed and is now being rebuilt.
There is a religion influence. Any Muslim house, they will never tamper with. But any house that belongs to Christians, these are the houses that they normally destroy.
Oh. They attack mostly Christian, where Christian dominated areas. Dominated area of Christian. That is why you see they burn our churches. But there is no any mosque that burn down. But all the churches burn down.
The solution that the government has offered is that local villagers give away part of their land to Fulani for grazing their cattle. But villagers are not willing to just give away their
So the government is looking on a way to give the Fulani men settlement in their village, so that with that settlement they can be able to carry out their full destruction on that land, and they totally annihilate and they sack out the indigenes of those villages. But they are wise enough, the villagers were wise enough to resist that grazing law, and that was why they see those attacks, subsequent attacks, with no military intervention against these evil murderers. Does it mean that what these Fulani people are doing are legitimate, or it is legal or lawful for them to kill, pillage, rape, destroy houses and properties with the same sophisticated weapons that the government has said shoot at sight? I begin to wonder when they began to deploy the law shoot at sight order. It was only when ESN was created. Then they now remember that there was a shoot at sight order that needs to be applied. But when these Fulanis are doing many things many years ago, they didn't apply the shoot at sight order. But because Eastern Security Network was created, then the name shoot at sight order came into place. And since then, I have not even heard that the police shot a Fulani in the forest or in the city wielding their AK-47. I have not heard it, not even for once. Because I know that if a Fulani man die, the news will be everywhere in Nigeria, even in international communities. But if the people occupying the villages are killed and murdered in cold blood, even at night, no one will even carry it, not even the international community, because they won't allow it to get to that extent. The media is one of our problems. They don't report truth.
These Fulani need place to rear their cattle. The government said we should give grazing areas, grazing reserve to Fulani people. And when there is...
Why should the people provide land for the Fulani people? Why they are doing their legitimate businesses? Grazing is also an agriculture. Farming is also a form of agriculture. Why can't the Fulani men and the women buy land for their business to ranch their cows, not open grazing. Let them ranch it, buy land, stay there, buy bushes if they can't get any bushes. Go to the forest, cut as many bushes as they will need for the feeding of these cows, while spending the lives of the people, for that expense.
Now we can take a land which is our forefathers, our great-great-fathers' land, and which we live here.
They really want to maneuver and capture our land, our parents, the home of our parents, where we know it has been our indigenous site of our settling from our grandparents. So they want to make it by force to say that they drive us out of this land and then stay and graze their cattle.
The result of this force is not that villagers are leaving their villages. They stay, they eat fruits, and they keep on farming the land, even though they live in fear and have to share the few houses and rooms that still have roofs.
Yanzu nan ta kwarai mu taru wuri daya, mutum uku, mutum hudu, mutum biyar a dan falo nan. Zamanin da ruwan nan yayi shine yasa yanzu har mun shiga muna dan fai kenan. Amma kam akwai mutum 10 a daki daya, babu wuri kwance.
Daren karfe 6 yayi, to muna cikin tunani ko za su zo da daren kuma ko ya zama yanzu da muna zama da rana nan muna dariya, amma yamma yayi haka kowa tunanin shi sai koma ciki, ba mu san ko me za a yi da dare da mu ba.
Da na gan su yanzu ina jin daɗi domin suna kare mu a garin. Akwai tsoro. Idan sojoji suna nan ba mu san cewa zo na har abada ba. Amma so mu in Allah ya da salama ta shigo. Wannan kasa da aka haife mu ba dalilin mu gudu bar shi.
Ai mana addu'a da karfi kuma a taimake mu da wuraren kwance. Addu'a da kuma wuri kwance da abin shi.
Yeah,